right. Thanks everyone for joining me again for another tutorial video on using some new features in version 5.0 of the sBitx 64-bit software that was created by our development team. So this one is going to cover how to add applications to the sBitx X Launcher. So X Launcher is a new way of displaying and using applications that are native on the sBitx Raspberry Pi platform by forwarding their display and inputs over to the web, so you can access these applications remotely. So what I'm going to do is show you, oh, by the way, this screen I have up right now, this is on the actual sBitx machine, so you'll notice that right now I have apps.html open. You can launch it right from here. Put in my password, press start, and here we go. And then you would launch it from the quick button here. So as you can see right now, we have these particular apps in here. To add an additional application, there are a couple ways to do this, or there are two things you have to do. More importantly, you have to, well, you can leave this open, it can stay running. However, you have to go to the Home Pi sBitx web scripts. And by the way, I'm going to show you how to do this through the GUI. I know some people are not so fond of running command line, but if you know how to do it, if you're familiar with Linux, you can certainly go ahead and do it that way as well. So we have two scripts in here, two scripts for each application that are shown in the list here. So for example, JTDX. So in the scripts folder, we should have a start JTDX and a stop JTDX. Here's the start, and the stop is right here, or start and stop. So what we've done is we made it easier for you to add additional applications with our template start and stop. So these are shell scripts. So what you would do is you would start or grab one of these and do a copy, and then you can go ahead and paste it. There's that paste here. Might be a little easier to do it through here. So, because then you can grab both of these, right click and do a copy, right click and do a paste in the empty space here. So when this pops up, we're going to put the name of the application that we want to monitor. So in this case, I'm going to show you how to do gpredict. So if I go up in the Pi menu here, I'm going to add gpredict. Now gpredict is an application that's in the user, the user/bin folder. So if you go into here, it can run a lot of the pre-installed apps on here are in here, or they have links to go grab those files. But gpredict should be in here as well as some other ones. Now, if you don't have an application that runs from the bin folder, then you would have to add the full path of the application. So, like say for example, I would do Home Pi sBitx or Home Pi desktop, and then the name of the application, wherever that application resides. So in this case, since we're doing gpredict, I'm going to take out template, and I'm going to take out the name app here and type in lowercase gpredict and click rename. Now for my stop app, I'm going to do the same thing. And we're going to type in gpredict. So these have to match. You can't have a different name. It has to be the same character, lowercase, etc. So we're going to go ahead and rename those. So now in our list, we should have a stop gpredict, and we also have a start gpredict right up here. So I'm going to go over the stop gpredict script first, because this one you don't only have to edit one line. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up in Programmer or the text editor. And in this particular file, the only thing you need to modify is the application name. Now this app name is, if you read the comments up here, it says the app name must match the script name after the start underscore prefix. So remember previously we renamed it start underscore gpredict. So I'm just going to type in gpredict in lowercase. In this particular case, we are using a VNC port, and we're remapping it to the WebSocket port here. So this can stay the same. Just remember that if you make more copies and you need to run like more than one application at a time, you need to change this port. So like say for example, if I wanted to run this app alongside of another app that relies on it, I would change the next one to 11 and this to 91. Okay. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to leave it at this. All right, so that's all you have to do for this particular file. So you go ahead and save it. And you can close out of that. So now we took care of the stop command. Now we'll go ahead and do the start command. So we're gonna open this file again. So in here, just remember, if you did change the VNC port, you'll have to change that in here. So if you change this to 11 and this to 91, make sure you do that. So in here we do have some notes in our file here that tell you what you need to do. It says define the application name, lowercase, no spaces. So since we know that gpredict is in the bin folder, all we have to do is type gpredict. We don't have to type in the full path. Okay. Oh, wrong place. This is where we'd actually type in the display name. So this you can use capital letters, and then I am bad at spelling today. So the app command, this is what we would do for, let's see, let's call this gpredict. Oh, I'm missing a bracket there. All right. So that's all you have to do here, unless you have an application that could interfere with another application. And if that's the case, what you would do is you would put the other stop scripts in here. Like you could comment these out. So if gpredict would interfere with running with WSJTX, then you would go ahead and comment this out, or you could add the additional scripts in here that you've created in this scripts folder. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back, since it doesn't really matter. So that's really all you need to do. And I apologize, I made a mistake here. So the app name would be this. I didn't scroll up far enough. So the application name, this would be the one that you can type in whatever. You could type in with a capital G. Now the app name and the app command need to be lowercase, and they need to match the name of the application that you're running. So in this case, we would go into this folder and find gpredict. There it is, right there. So going back to this file, once you've made your changes here, and again, remember the widget label, this is what is being displayed to you in here. So this is exactly how it's displayed. What's really important is that you need to have the application name and the app command to match whatever the name of the executable file is. So we'll go ahead and save this and close out of that. So now we should have a start gpredict and a stop gpredict in our folder. Now if we go back to here and I refresh the page, you'll notice we have gpredict now. So this would also apply if you're running this from your phone, your tablet, or your computer that's on the same network. So in this case, I can go ahead and run gpredict, and it should display right in the window here. So you'll see here, we got gpredict. So now I can go ahead and operate it just like I'm on the desktop. So if I wanted to update my transponder data, PLE data, you can do it all from here. So I've updated my satellites. Now you'll notice that this window is quite small, and you may want it smaller depending if you're viewing this on a phone or a small tablet. But you can go ahead and grab these edges and drag it to be full size. Some people say, well, why don't you just use this and maximize the screen? Well, the difference in this is that if you maximize the screen, it will not save it the next time you open it up. So for example, I'll go ahead and make this small. I'm going to go ahead and maximize it. And now, again, I can either close the browser tab, or I can go here and stop this. And there we go. Now if I reopen it, you'll notice that it shows up as the previous size that I had set up. Okay, so that's why the maximize button does not work. So if you want to save this for your whatever device you're using, you want to drag this to a comfortable size, and you can make it larger. You can always use your phone to scroll down through the application as well. So now if I save it at this size, I close it, wait for it to stop. So in the background, what it's basically doing is running those shell scripts, the start and stop shell scripts. And it's closing down the necessary applications, building the VNC port, and etc. So now you can see it's at the exact size that I set it at in the previous iteration that I dragged the window size to. So that's how you do it. It's not too difficult. We've tried to make it easy. So again, you would copy your templates, rename them, find the application that the executable of the application that you want to run. Go ahead and enter that information in there. Change the VNC port and any dependencies for the other applications that may interfere with what you're doing. Go ahead and save it, and then you can launch it right from the browser. All right, well, that concludes today's tutorial. I appreciate everyone's time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And happy Father's Day out there to all the dads. 7-3, and we'll talk to you soon.